Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. The message that you need to hear today relates to heartbreak and toxicity. Now, the message arrived kind of jumbled, so I'm just going to try to decode it as I'm speaking to you now. So at first I felt that I'm speaking to somebody who's dealing with heartbreak. Now, this could really mean a number of ways that we can have heartbreak. It could really mean literally in a romantic relationship. It can mean family, it could mean grief, the loss of a loved one. So I feel I'm speaking to somebody who feels a sense of loss. And if that is you, then this message is here to bring you comfort on your journey. So the message, honestly, that I am getting is that there are two ways to approach a situation. That we kind of have the light and the dark. Now, maybe the way that this pertains to loss is if we were to approach loss from a darker perspective, then it would mean that we internalize the loss. It means that we blame ourselves. It would mean that we seek revenge. It means that we turn on ourselves in a negative way and we become very consumed with maybe self-hatred or guilt or blame or anger or aggression. And the message here is that yes, it's okay to have those emotions because we are all human. We have a full spectrum of emotions, but we have to allow those emotions to come through us and then to land ultimately on the light side of the grief. So, for example, the light side that pertains to loss and grief and heartbreak is that we hold that person in our minds with love, that we feel that we honor and cherish the connection for what it was, that we still hold them with care and love in our hearts. That does not mean to say that we have to be around them or that we need them still to be physically in our lives, but it means that we still hold love for that person regardless, because every person deserves love on this planet, regardless of if they're good or bad. And ultimately, we move forward in our life. We take a process of grief. We grieve. We acknowledge the loss. We calibrate that within our system. We speak about it to people. Perhaps, we even seek counseling or therapy. And we then move on with our lives in a positive way, and we have learned a lesson through that loss. Now, what happens is if we go on the darker side is that I think it pertains actually to what the lesson is that we've learned from the loss. So do we go on the darker side and say, well, nothing good ever happens to me, there are bad things in the world, and then we lean on that darker side? Or do we look towards the light and we say, look, there are good and bad things in the world. We're here to experience life. We're here to experience the human experience, which is full of nuance, which is full of a wide spectrum of emotions. But our purpose here on this planet is to look at the light side and to understand that everything happens for a reason. I know that might sound like not helpful for you at the moment, but everything does happen for a reason. The reason might not be your intrinsic happiness in this moment right now. That probably isn't the reason. The reason is because we're part of a universe. We're part of a yin and yang. There's good and there's bad. There's balance. And with the loss, we balance that loss and that pain with holding things positively in our minds, holding ourselves positively in our minds as well. Practicing self-love, practicing love for others around us that are supportive and that are worth it. And extending love to people who are not necessarily in our lives anymore. And that's the light side. The light side is asking you to take a really deep breath right now and to fill your system with the energy of love through the breath. It's asking you to inhale love, allow it to fill your body, to fill your cells, and to energize you with a deep relaxation, with deep understanding and knowing that you do have within you. You have to trust yourself, you do know what to do inside of you. You've always known. And tapping into that knowing is something that we do, and obviously that's called intuition. It's something that we can do when we do feel relaxed and we feel calm and grounded. It's difficult to tap into intuition when we're feeling stressed and sort of in those more negative emotions. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to be in those negative emotions, because it is healthy to get those out, but it's also healthy to get onto the other side once those emotions have passed and remain feeling and knowing that everything is going to be okay, that you are going to be okay, that the world and the universe has its ways of being. I'm really feeling called to tell you to focus on self-love in this particular moment. You're dealing with a very difficult situation that anybody would feel was really difficult. And it's very, very important in this moment that you take care of yourself. So, eating food, getting water, getting outside, speaking with people that you can trust, or just anybody, online, whatever. Making sure that you get a little bit of exercise, hygiene, the basics. And once we do a lot of these things and we nourish ourselves and we look after ourselves and we treat ourselves like we are sick, for example. When we're not very well, what do? We might make ourselves a soup or a nice hot tea, and we would sit in a nice warm blanket and give ourselves a break. And when we're feeling really strong emotions and we're going through a really hard time, we have to treat ourselves in the same way, because our body is going through a stress and it does feel like sickness. And turning to ourselves for wisdom, for love, to center ourselves is the most important thing for you right now. Is to center yourself, to maybe put your hand on your heart and just remember that you are there for yourself. You can look after yourself, and you will look after yourself, and you will get through this. This is a difficult time, but there is light on the other side, and you will get through. Okay, I'm sending you so much love. If this guided message resonated with you, please feel free to leave a comment so that I can pick up on your energy for my next guided message. And if you would like to subscribe, that also helps me pick up your energy for your next guided message. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.